Hello. How are you? Yeah, you. How are you? How are you doing? I would love to know the answer to this question. Please type in the comments below. How are you doing? I have recognized that for myself lately, when people ask me how I'm doing, I tend to say I'm fine and kick the can down the road. I'm maintaining. Yeah, things are tough, but I'm good. I'm fine. And the last couple weeks, I have not been fine. And it's actually kind of nice when you have a moment to know you're not fine and actually have the time and space to dig into why. And I think that if you have a good why, you can endure any what. I think that's like a Winston Churchill quote. But it's getting harder and harder, I feel, in the world right now to have a solid why. I feel like the vision of the future that we all grew up with is really cloudy right now. And the strain that is in our lives from this global pandemic and all of the crap that is tied to it, we are living in a different world than we were 2 years ago. And I personally have not taken the time to really dig into what that means. I've been doing that in the last couple weeks, and that's how I know that I'm going to be okay. And in fact, I still believe deeply that everything is okay. But I am okay with saying that I am not fine. I have a lot of emotion right now. I have a lot of feelings. And I have an expectation, whether real or imagined, that I need to sit down and make a cryptocurrency video for you. So I just want to be transparent at the beginning, and I would love to know how you're doing. I was looking at the statistics of the people that watch my videos, and on the last video, I think it was 97.8% males. It's a sausage fest here, guys. I mean, there's some real cool ladies lurking around, but we're all a bunch of degenerate crypto man children. And I think that we probably have really similar experiences when we really boil it down. And I love this quote that came out of a garden call the other day. 98% of all crypto conversations are non-consensual. So before you go to Thanksgiving dinner or whatever your next outing is and try to talk to your Uncle Lenny about why he should really be checking out the new Solana swap and staking his, whatever, that we don't have a world of people that can sit down and talk this language with us. It's actually a fairly lonely place. And it's also a place where we, more than a lot of other people, are face to face with our emotions. Fear and greed are what drive this market. And so we are little astronauts strapped into our chairs, looking at these charts and going through gymnastics when it comes to human emotion. So give yourself permission. I'm giving you permission to not be fine for even a moment and to just really dig into how you're feeling, what you're doing. And when we look at something like a Bitcoin price chart, which I will pull up here presently, I've been thinking about this metaphor. I've been thinking about the moon, right? And we've got this narrative of things going to the moon. And I was thinking the other day that the moon has always been this symbol of beauty and love and this shining in the darkness, otherworldly kind of opportunity. And the moon pulls on the tides, but the oceans never go to the moon. And when I look here at the Bitcoin price chart, I see the force of this moon, of this narrative, of this idea, this promise, this opportunity for us to escape the parts of our lives that are difficult and have our eyes on this great future where we have the time and the money and the space to live our best lives. The moon is pulling these waves, but they're waves. And as I've talked about on this channel over and over and over again, they're not just random waves. They are precision engineered movements that have been known and occurring for over 100 years that are precisely what separate someone looking at the moon from the money that they just FOMO'd in to that promise. And I think that the allure of this moon narrative is that crypto seems to be a place where we can just capture, we can dip our hands into this stream of energy and opportunity and promise without having to go out in a field and lift a hammer or, toil. There was a quote I heard earlier today. I don't want to earn a living. I just want to live. And I think especially with the world as it is right now, with a lot of murkiness, that's a driving force and it should be acknowledged. So I'll leave it at that. As far as just kind of looking at the overall effect here, we are back in the patterns, the waves, where we had a couple days ago this moon facing narrative. We were reaching all-time highs. And I pointed out that the greed index was pretty high. It was at 85. And whenever we start to get super greedy is when things are being sold to us and the outlook is the most bullish, and then we kind of pull back. So that's what happened. And I'm not going to say like, look, I told you so, because I've been wrong just as many times. I was totally wrong here. And I did post a video that talked about just how wrong I was. I fully expected this kind of a ending to this little distribution, and instead we saw this squeeze and everything blast back up. But I think that the underlying kind of concepts here are that this is not just a narrative going to the moon. We are in this distribution and accumulation whipsaw that is tried and true and has been done in markets since markets were markets. And crypto is like high octane, super boosted, mega fueled fear and greed. And so, when you see a big upthrust and it's in the middle of a distribution, the next phases kind of bring us back down into accumulation. So I'll leave it at that. I know this is kind of a long intro. What I want to do today is I want to get into some of the comments from the last video, because it's a good, a good conversation. There were some interesting observations and threads that I wanted to pull on just a little bit more. So here's the ones that I pulled out. And I'm not doing this to like call anybody out or to, don't flame people in the comments based on this. I just want to talk about some of the themes and things that I saw. So this is the first one. So someone said, bro, I have to thank you. Whoops. Bro, I have to thank you. This video helped me see through the bullshit and take profit rather than waiting for stupid predictions to come through. I was that guy checking my Coinbase wallet 10 times a day, watching too many 10x videos, but today I became smart money. And so just, some observations here. The first is that we are not smart money. As soon as we start thinking we are is when we're going to get super fooled. I think that I know just enough to be a danger to myself and others. Next one here. Hey Ryan, take that same bar pattern and overlay it on the chart starting at the early September top. It's uncannily similar to the recent price action. If it plays out the same way, it won't, but still, we were looking at 74 to 75K top before a potential drop. So I did want to try this. So let's take the same bar pattern from the last video. Let's put it at the September top. So I grabbed the chart pattern from here to here. And where is the September top? It's got to be right here. Yeah, so I think just saying if we put this like this, yeah, that's probably even more of a kind of a more, and it's actually like about the same scale too. I don't have to shift it too much, but yeah, I mean, the takeaway here is that these moves are, they work. They work again and again and again to get people to, buy in, sell out, always with that moon-looking narrative. And yeah, with this kind of an approximation, we're looking more at like high 70s. So we just had that kind of upthrust. We're probably dropping down, finding some support, probably on a line like this, around the $60,000 mark. That could give us another big upthrust. And then, if we, I think that's a cool observation and probably a little bit better than the one that I did in the last video. So what's our next comment here? Someone said, this is the most basic advice ever. And thank you. Thank you. That's a huge compliment to me. I strive for simplicity here. And if it's super basic, watch it again. And yeah. Okay, so here's another. This is a great one and something I want to touch in on. So I was in the last video, again, pretty itchy and just kind of throwing shade at the space in general, especially crypto YouTube, crypto Twitter, all that stuff, which I do see as generally a bad place to be anchoring your time and attention. When I first made a video that got popular on YouTube, there were a lot of amazing people like Coins Kid who, pointed people to this channel. It grew. I am not saying that everyone in this space is bad. Actually, deeply, I don't feel that way at all. And I think it's more about the content and its effect on you that I care about, not that the people are bad or that that you should just en masse flame or abandon all of these creators. I was thinking about this. All of those YouTube thumbnails that you see where it looks like the dude just got kicked in the dick, they did. They are getting kicked in the dick with every video that they're posting because it's YouTube that is doing the dick kicking. If you don't follow their prescribed keywords, content, length, the ads that you put in, the thumbnails that are, clickbaity, the crappy titles, you don't get found, you don't get watched, you don't get paid. So these guys did not start off, and gals, but, predominantly guys did not start off to go, make orgasm faces on YouTube. That is what this system pushes people towards. That's why it's toxic. That's why it's not the people are bad. It's that the system is just skewed towards these extremes of human emotion. And if you are just a normal average person, then you have a choice to either jump into that cesspool or not. That doesn't mean that Coins Kid and anyone else is like bad or should be, disliked. It's just the recognition that if you are putting your wealth, your value into a space like this, and then you're going and watching 100x altcoin videos, you're going to get hurt if you haven't already. There's a lot of bad skewed perspectives, and those are the ones that drive the waves. That's the moon pulling the tides, and when the tide goes out, you see all the bodies that are left in the kelp. Someone said this, I think it was sort of in sarcasm, dump is coming because fear and greed index is at 75. Great analysis. Well, I mean, fear and greed index was at 85, and that's pretty high. That's extreme greed, and extreme greed always comes, and then there is fear. Always. It's always done that. Go back and look. There's never been a place where it just went to extreme greed and stayed there forever. Eventually it comes back down, and it doesn't usually stay up in the extreme greed for very long. So yeah, it's super basic. It's super simple. I know I'm not saying anything earth-shattering, but think about it. The fear and the greed drive this market a lot more than anything else. And then this was on my the true cost of crypto video, which is actually one of the videos I'm more proud of this year, where I actually kind of pulled back the veil on how much crypto was affecting me in a negative way earlier this year when I was obsessed with it, almost 24/7, like under the covers at night, trading, looking at charts constantly, learning, putting all my money into it. And then this person said, just set the hours you work the crypto like you would with anything else. This person has not traded crypto. It doesn't work like that. You can't just, if you're going to be trading crypto, you become a slave to your trades. And it's obsessive. I don't know. So, if you don't get it, you haven't been there, don't get there. You had said a few weeks ago that Wyckoff is playing out, and it didn't. Your prediction was wrong. It pumped like crazy when you said it was going down. And totally, 100%, I was wrong. I posted a video after I got back from the jungle that said as much and talked about all the ways I was wrong in detail, what I did, where I did it. And so I'm not here to make these earth-shattering predictions. And when I get it wrong, it just goes to show that, man, it is so easy to get faked out. And the technicals and everything, the narrative can all be going one way and then it goes the other way. I am just as much getting played by this as anyone else. So if you're coming here looking for an oracle, I hate to disappoint you, but you've just been disappointed. So the most money I ever made in crypto was when I put 5,000 into half a dozen projects I believe in and then stopped paying attention. It took about 2 years, but I saw returns that were astronomical. Just saying. And this is great. And I actually really wish that in that last video I'd spent a little bit more time on this concept, because if you go to my earlier videos, I'm talking a lot about, how good of an investor you are in crypto really comes down to when you bought and how long you're able to hold. So if you're able to buy in a bear market, or even now, and then just step away and just go away, stop looking, that I do believe is one of the best strategies. I mean, the people that I know that have made the most in crypto, that's what they've done. They just keep buying crypto. They don't follow price. They're not trying to be traders. They just buy crypto, they hold it, and 4 years from now or whenever, that's an amazing appreciation of value. But if you're on YouTube and you're looking for 100x gains, you're listening to me, you're probably not just buying and walking away. So I think that's why in the last video I was very much just kind of ripping into this. If you're a trader and you're trying to profit here, and you're buying at the top of a bull market, like, take profit, right? Like, that's why you're doing it. Do you really want to see your investment go from $70,000 all the way back to 50 or 20 or wherever it's going? You're going to have the diamond hands to see yourself be upside down by 70-80% and just wait for 4 more years versus just being patient and then buying at a better time. I don't know, here I am again, all ranty at you. And then I think that's a good one to end on. And I'm just gonna keep making these videos. I think it's an opportunity for me to continue to share perspectives and thoughts and ideas. I want to just take this minute. If you made it to the end, then you probably, can tolerate me more than most people or even myself. And so a couple things, the crypto garden, if you like crypto, remember 98% of crypto conversations are non-consensual. In the garden, they're always consensual. There's tons of people that are having amazing kumbaya moments and sharing their stories. And it's beautiful in that regard. There's also great resources, videos, etc. So if you're interested, go to thecryptogarden.io. I also just want to plug, I've been doing Uncomplication now for years. You can go to uncomplication.com. I've got some crypto stuff that's more recent, but, I'm talking to psychedelic therapists that are doing MDMA assisted therapy, talking about overworking, perpetual martyr syndrome. I'm pretty proud of a lot of these, and I want to get back to this kind of content creation, because to me, this is where my true north is. This is what I care about. And I'm also just kind of a, goofy, artistic jerk. So, and if you like Uncomplication, you want to support me, you'll notice I never put ads in these videos, because as soon as I'm working for Liberty Mutual, I'm working for Liberty Mutual. But if you want to support me and get something cool in the process, come to uncomplication.com, check out the store. I put one of my favorite t-shirt designs. It's a shirt that I've had and worn for years. And I just gave my shirt to one of the guys in the jungle. So yeah, somewhere out there is a Warani wearing an Uncomplication t-shirt, but I just ordered another one, and you can too. It's a great way to support me without actually having to have your eyes bleed and listen to crappy jingles. So I'll leave it at that. I appreciate you. I hope that you take the time to take care of yourself. And until next time, cheers.